Hello, fabulous Capricorn. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of January 2016, General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here, and a big happy new year to everybody out there. This particular month really is so much about you. It is all about you, actually. And I touched on it a little bit last month. This is where the energy is really going to start to shift in your direction. And you really are, in many ways, your central focus. What you want, what you're moving towards, what is worth focusing on, and what is not starts to become clearer to you. In many ways, you're rethinking yourself and rethinking your assumptions, rethinking your identity, and rethinking the direction your life is going in, where it's working, where it's not, and beginning to implement some very powerful beginnings in one sense, yes, but they will be beginnings that will require some refinement. They will be beginnings that in some way speak to what you might have left behind before. But this is the month of intensity and of clarity, and a time when the actions you take now will reap fruition months down the road, have very long-term consequences well past this year. So we've got this new moon happening in your sign. You usually get once a year. This is your time. This is your moment. And with this new moon comes a fresh start for you, the chance to start anew. So it's like your new year, if you will, begins a few days after other people might feel like their new moon has begun. So early in the month, we have this new moon happening. It is happening close to Pluto, speaking with Uranus and speaking in supreme harmony with Jupiter. Also, Mercury's retrograde this month in your sign, mostly in your sign, retro, and will be hovering around Pluto for much of that time, suggesting some very intense thoughts and very provocative perceptions and absolute commitment of focus. Where it is that you've wanted something or been on the path towards something that is not really for you, no matter how much you've wanted it, this is going to be a month that makes that clear. But the reverse is also true. If you've been on a path to something that you've really wanted and it is for you, or you don't really know, you're not that crazy about, but it is for you, this month will make that abundantly clear as well. There's tremendous change happening now. As I said, Pluto is very active, and Pluto in your sign is helping you to go through a slow metamorphosis, become a whole new you, slowly but surely over the course of this decade and into the next. And this month represents one of those peak moments, one of those highlight moments, if you will, as part of Pluto's journey through your sign. And that's largely thanks to Mercury, making you aware, bringing things to consciousness, allowing you to perceive things differently. And all of this is working to your advantage, to help you understand what matters and what doesn't, to give your love, your attention to what does, so that you can accomplish really big things. And when I say really big, I mean that this is going to be the time that the seeds planted now can reap even bigger fruit than you could even anticipate at this moment. There might be some involvement, some insight of somebody that you might have already connected with before, some participation of them. And this is because of Mercury retrograde, especially when Mercury retrogrades in your sign. It tends to bring people back so that you can have another look, if you will. You can get your clarity. You can understand how, now that they're coming back, if you really do want to move forward with this project or this person or not. And of course, I'll talk about that more in the love focus section of, or the love focused horoscope for your sign for this month as well. Having said that, yes, love is there, but it is about you. It is about what's happening with you, the understanding that you're having about who you are and what you really want and what must change. You certainly are becoming very aware of that at this time also. You add to that a full moon happening later in the month. Now this full moon will begin a financial energy, a financial cycle that will be continuing into the month of February. I'll be here to talk about it then. But what this essentially says to me is that early in the month, it's about you, thinking about you and what you want and where you're going, where to focus your attention, where to change and what to change within yourself. Later in the month, once you have that clarity, it becomes about, okay, how do I make those changes? And how do I access the resources I need to move myself in the direction I want to go? So there's a financial element to it, certainly. And this has to do with grants, loans, bursaries, benefits, insurance payments, tax returns, all those types of stuff, commissions, these types of monies are covered. Large chunks of money are covered. And this seems to be rooted in, and the money that arrives seems to be rooted in positive impressions you've already made. And so it looks like, whether it's an investor, whether it's a grant, it looks like a lot of it is based on what you've already put into place and how people already know you to be. Where it comes to you though, and living a fulfilling life and living more in alignment with that, the possibilities truly are endless, but they do start with you. There'll be some intense thoughts and some very intense conversations as well that can help you to clarify your direction. You're getting in touch with a very powerful energy this month, and that energy can move you in just about any direction you choose. But if you're open to it, you might find that the universe has a plan for you, especially now that becomes more evident, a plan that is way cooler than anything you could have planned for yourself.